Welcome to the Path to Better A1C podcast. My name is Jenny, and I'm a National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach, a Diabetes Prevention Program lifestyle coach, and the creator of the A1C Reset Protocol, which is a 12-week program designed to help busy individuals lower their A1C, prevent diabetes, and regain the control of their health without extreme diets. If you're looking for practical, science backed strategies to balance your blood sugar and build sustainable habits, you're at the right place. We have new episodes dropping in every Friday, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Now, today we're tapping on a very hot topic, very interesting topic, a bit controversial, if I would say, and it has to do with the GLP-1 medications. And we're going to touch into what are they, how they work, whether they might be right for you to prevent diabetes. And I have to say, as a health coach, I have worked with about 200 clients, I believe, who are using or considering GLP medications for different reasons. Some of them are solely for weight loss, but when we start talking, we realize that there is an insulin resistance in there and that they are actually at the higher risk of developing diabetes. And some of them are already pre-diabetic and they're really trying to lower that A1C and they're using the medication as a tool. Now, there is a lot of confusion out there. So I hope that this episode is going to bring clarity and break down a few of these things that maybe are a bit out there and they're conflicting. So GLP, and please, I'm not a doctor and I'm Hispanic, so let's see how this accent comes out. But GLP stands for glucagon-like peptide 1 receptor agonist. That's pretty much what GLP-1 is. No wonder they call it that. They're a class of medications that were originally designed for type 2 diabetes management. Now, you may recognize these names. Again, I'm not promoting or this is not sponsored, but you may recognize names like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Saxenda. There are many out there. Those are the most known GLP-1 medications. Now, what do? Right? They work by mimicking a natural hormone that is called GLP-1. This hormone plays a very key role in blood sugar regulation and appetite control. Now, over the years, there has been some research, and now it's coming that it's not just effective for lowering your blood sugar, but also helping people lose weight, which makes them appealing for those that are at risk of developing diabetes. Now, what do they really do in your body? That's like a question that a lot of my clients ask. What does it do? Why should I take this? Now, when you eat, your body actually produces GLP-1s. That is what signals the pancreas to release insulin. It slows your digestion and it helps you feel full. That's the function of that naturally produced hormone. Now, when people are taking GLP-1 medications, it will enhance this process by obviously boosting that insulin production when your blood sugar levels rise. It reduces glucagon release, which prevents excess glucose from being dumped into your bloodstream. Whenever your body produces glucagon, automatically there is like that blood glucose being pumped into your bloodstream. So it helps with that. That's why it's very effective when it comes to lowering A1C and balancing blood sugar. Now, the other thing that this medication does is lowering the gastric emptying. What that means is that your digestion is going to take a little bit longer, and what is going to happen is you're going to feel full with less food, and you're going to feel fuller for longer, right? Then the other thing is it influences the brain signals related to hunger cues. So a lot of people that are in these medications, they realize I am not as hungry. I don't feel as much cravings. And in simple terms, this medications help stabilize your blood sugars, reduces your appetite, supports your weight loss, And all of these are key for preventing diabetes. Now, what are the results and what are the benefits, right? And I think I probably already touched on a little bit of that. Obviously, lowering your A1C levels. This is great. And again, it started with as a type 2 diabetes medication. So it absolutely helps, and the studies are showing that it will significantly reduce your blood sugar levels over time. Sustained weight loss. That's another benefit. Many people lose between 10 to 15% of their body weight, which actually helps improve insulin sensitivity. And I have to mention that even with the CDC's diabetes prevention program, we have a very conservative goal when you join that program that lasts for an entire year. And the initial goal for the first 6 months is to actually lose from 5 to 7% of your current weight. So using the medication actually may boost that percentage in terms of your weight loss. Obviously, it reduces the risk of diabetes because we know that overweight is one of the factors that will actually put you at that higher risk of developing diabetes. The cardiovascular benefits is another thing that it's been researched and is showing up even more, that using GLP-1s may actually show to reduce risk of heart disease and stroke. And obviously the great advantage, especially for clients that have this relationship with food, right? Like food sometimes can be comfort. It can be the only coping mechanism for stress, and it can be almost a bored activity, right? Like you're bored, let me just go grab a snack. So this medication actually affects hunger hormones, so it helps you naturally eat less just because you're not feeling deprived and you're not having those intense cravings. So those are like great benefits. Now, when people start taking the medication, they typically ask, okay, what does the medication does in terms of like biology in your body? The other thing that they ask is, what about side effects? Now, side effects can vary. I've seen individuals actually not reacting very well with the medication and they actually have to talk to their provider and modify it. But in general, things that appear to be somewhat normal, even though I hate using that, but somewhat normal or typical, I think that's a better term, for the first few weeks, as your body adjusts, you may feel nausea. You know, some people actually start vomiting, or they have constipation, or they have diarrhea, but a lot of it is connected with your habits. So when I'm coaching clients that are trying to lose weight and lower their A1C and they are taking GLP-1 medications, there are three things that are very important. I tell them to prioritize protein at every meal. I tell them to not skip meals because there is a possibility of having hypoglycemia, and it's best to actually have small, consistent meals throughout the day, and to prioritize fruits and vegetables and complex carbs, because that's another mentality that a lot of people feel that they need to go on keto diets or they have to completely eliminate carbs, which is not true. It's more about having a balanced plate and how you combine these macronutrients. And I will talk about that in a future episode. It's already in the queue. It's coming. Now, let's go back to the side effects. Nausea, vomiting. The way to counteract that is to drink enough water. The medication needs you to be well hydrated. If not, you're going to feel that nausea intensify even more. Diarrhea or constipation, that typically also comes from water, not drinking enough water. And then the other element to be very important, since you're not eating as much and you're prioritizing protein, you're not eating as much fruits and vegetables at times, and that's where the fiber is. That's what keeps, what I like to say, keep traffic moving. So if you want to make sure, just again, having a balanced plate and also avoiding foods that are very fatty and fried, that tends to create a lot of side effects. There are some people that also get heartburn. That's like another common side effect. And it comes if you're eating a lot of food at one time, since your digestion is actually slowing down. So that means you don't eat that much. So if by any chance you're eating a little bit more than the usual, that tends to create a little bit of that heartburn. And the other thing that a lot of people experience is obviously loss of appetite, and we talked about that, how it affects the hunger cues and your hormones. But fatigue and dizziness, again, it also touch into don't skip meals and all of that. And I've actually just posted I have a blog post on my website, and I will put it in the show notes, talking about some studies and how, if you are trying to lower your A1C and balance your blood sugars, skipping breakfast is definitely not a thing to do. And I know a lot of people are going to come after me because some people are so for intermittent fasting, but what the experience that I have and what I have seen, the way that I've seen clients maintain weight loss, balance their blood sugar, is actually having balanced meals. Prioritizing protein in the morning. That doesn't mean that you're going to grab that donut that it's sitting in the lunchroom. It means that you're going to get something that is going to be high in protein, high in fiber, and you're going to start the day without getting that huge spike of having just carbs. But again, I will touch on that. It's coming. Now, stay hydrated if you want to try to avoid these side effects, or these are common side effects. Stay hydrated. Again, eat balanced meals and talk to your doctor if the side effects persist. There are some people that just the body disagrees with the medication. So if it's something that is very severe, obviously talk to your doctor, go to the ER if it's extremely severe, and just have that conversation. But typically, it may be very light, and it should go away about a week or two into your medication protocol. That's what I have seen. Now, how you should eat when you're taking GLP-1s. And I already touched on that, but we're going to go through that. For the best results, protein-rich meals. I tell my clients, and they joke with me because I always say, well, I went to the restaurant. So I'm like, okay, where's the protein? Like when they tell me what they're eating, and I just ask, like, where's the protein? I actually don't practice a lot of restriction, more about balance, right? So I'm like, okay, if you wanted to eat that, you need to eat your protein and your vegetables first. And then you tap into that dessert or that little treat that you want. Because I know that most likely if you eat the protein and your vegetables, you're not going to eat more than 2 or 3 bites of whatever treat you're trying to have. Now, if you start with that, you're going to get something high in calories. You're not going to eat anything that is nutrient dense. You're going to get full faster. And guess what? It's going to jeopardize not just your weight loss goal, but also your blood sugar levels. So the trick is to mix things together. High fiber fruits, again, vegetables, legumes, whole grains. Carbs are not bad, but prefer the carbs that have fiber, and limit those carbs to a portion. Don't make the carb the main character of your dish. Make protein the main character of your dish. Healthy fats, they actually help you stay full longer. So prefer avocados, nuts, olive oil. They actually provide sustained energy. Try to avoid as much as you can processed carbs and greasy foods. I said that before. They will trigger nausea. They will cause stomach upset, and they also are not the best for you in terms of nutrition, and they're not going to be the best for your weight loss goal and for your A1C levels to really go lower. And again, hydration. Since the medication slow the digestion, drinking enough water is essential. At least 64 ounces. And I'm telling you, most of us, there is a formula out there, most of us need more than 100 ounces a day, most likely. But at least aim for that and try to work that into your routine. Now, another question that some people have asked me, and I felt that I needed to add to the podcast was, can you produce GLP-1s naturally? And the answer is yes. While medications enhance that, your body can actually produce and you can boost those GLP-1 levels, right? Again, it goes all back to lifestyle and nutrition habits. Eating more protein and fiber, regular movement and exercise, getting quality sleep, managing stress, because we talked before, stress triggers that hunger hormone. And that's why when you're stressed, what do you go for? You go for the snacks. And what are the type of snacks you go for? For the ones that are high in carbs, because they're associated with comfort. They give you quick energy. So that's what the body is going to go for, because it's looking for comfort and quick comfort. So, and these are the things that I exactly have built into the A1C Reset Protocol. And that's what we do. We pretty much build habits and routines around these 4 pillars. And that's how I get my clients to actually lower their A1C and lose weight and keep it in a sustainable way without feeling deprived, without feeling that it's a diet that is temporary, but incorporating habits and things that they can see themselves doing for the rest of their life. I always tell them, if you find a vegetable or fruit, can you see yourself eating this for the rest of your life? Do you actually enjoy it? If there is something that they do not enjoy, I'm like, then don't eat it. Find something else. But I want you to enjoy it, because if not, it's going to become a task that is going to be very hard to bear. And again, it's not going to be sustainable. And health coaches, we want our clients to actually embrace these habits in a way that they can see themselves doing this in the long run. Now, last but not least, how do you actually get into getting these medications and how do you get them off and all of that? Talk to your doctor, please. If you're considering bringing it up to your PCP doctor and talk about it, the American Diabetes Association has some inserts, and every year they publish it. And there is a section that actually goes over not just GLP-1s, but every single medication related to prediabetes and diabetes that you can actually read. Make an educated decision, right? And talk to your doctor about it. And talk to your doctor about your fears. And what are the steps that you need to take in order for you to get to that point of not depending on the medication in the long run. Some of my clients have managed to reduce the medication. Some have eliminated the medication. It really depends from person to person, but I can tell you lifestyle changes and habits that you incorporate around nutrition and exercise and sleep and stress, they work. They absolutely work. So talk about that with your doctor. Now, one of the biggest concerns that I hear from clients is, am I going to regain that weight after stopping the GLP-1 medications? Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. If you are one of those that believe that the medication is that magic wand that is going to get you completely off and you're going to just get all this weight without making any changes to your habits, this is going to be just another thing that you tried that you're going to talk about that didn't work. Put it in that pile. In order for you to have a goal that you're going to reach and maintain, you have to have a solid foundation of healthy eating, healthy movement habits. Because again, that's why a lot of people struggle to maintain their results. That's why you hear in the post on forums and Facebook groups, all these comments about, oh, I have to stay on this medication because if not, I can't maintain it. That's just because you're probably on deprivation mode, right? Like you're affecting your metabolism and you're not eating as much because obviously all of the things that I mentioned before, but then you're not changing your habits. That's what got you there. Your habits are the ones that got you to most likely develop this insulin resistance or gain the weight. There is a genetic component, but a lot of it is lifestyle habits. So, building sustainable habits while you're on GLP-1s is amazingly effective because with the GLP-1s, you're not having as much hunger and you can almost like create new neural paths and change those habits. You can improve your metabolism naturally and you can create a long-term strategy so that you can maintain those results. But it requires a plan and it requires change. Now, I know that we're about like 20 minutes in. So the final takeaways, just as a summary, we covered what are GLP-1 medications, right? We know that they work on creating that GLP-1 so that you can have that insulin produced by the pancreas and not produce glucagon, right? We know the benefits, right? Like all the cardiovascular benefits and how it's going to curb your hunger and your appetite and all of these things. And it's going to result in lowering A1C. We talked about how to eat, how to support your body's natural production, right? What to discuss with your doctor, and what do you need to do to maintain that weight loss after you stop. Again, it all falls back as medication is a tool. The main goal that you should have and you should discuss with your doctor is how can I change habits? Find the support that you need. Find what works. If you need to talk to me, I have a free discovery call. You can go ahead and book it. And we'll talk. No strings attached. If you need guidance and if you need somebody to talk to and see what next steps. But I assure you, lifestyle habits change and these medications are actually an amazing tool to help you quiet that food noise, to help you, again, shift your focus and really have that break from those cravings to actually develop the habits that are going to help you have a healthier life in the long run. Now, I will put some notes, linked studies, resources that are related, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any other questions. Again, visit my website, jennypena.com. If you want more details, if you need to contact me, you can send me a message there. And until the next time, stay consistent, stay informed, take charge of your health, do your due diligence, right? And know that if you have been diagnosed with prediabetes, this is not your life sentence. You can still make the necessary changes. And whether you use medication or not, lifestyle changes can actually help. They are effective. So rest with that. You don't have to be overwhelmed. I'll see you next Friday.